everybody. I'm Elisa Vitti, founder of Flow Living, and we're celebrating the 10-year anniversary of the company of helping women recover from hormone issues naturally. And in celebration, I'm leading a series of conversations with some of my favorite female founders, athletes, actresses, activists, and other women who have been on their own hormonal journey, because let's face it, we're all on a hormonal journey, and we're here to really normalize conversations about hormonal symptoms, to unpack why it's so important that you understand how things are connected to your hormones, that you don't have to tolerate suffering, and that you can actually take action to resolve what's going on for you. Joining me today is Alix Klineman, a gold medalist for the Tokyo 21 Olympics, 8-time international titles, plays for Team USA, competing domestically and internationally, and she's pregnant, and she's not counting out a run for Paris 2024. I am so thrilled to have you here today. Thank you for joining me, Alix.
Of course, thanks for having me.
It's my pleasure. So, we're here to talk about hormone stuff, hormone issues, hormone symptoms. Tell me about your experience dealing with symptoms or condition. How have hormones impacted your life, your athletic career so far?
Right. Well, I was initially put on the pill at an extremely young age. I think I was 16 or 17, and I was put on the pill for just having heavy periods. It was to kind of be a Band-Aid and cover up symptoms as opposed to getting to the root cause of things. And a few years later, I was like, okay, I want to get off the pill. And I broke out with cystic acne. I kept having to repeatedly go back on the pill whenever I tried to go off. But I just felt that my body didn't feel good on the pill. I didn't have the same energy. It's hard to kind of pinpoint it, but I just felt off.
You didn't feel like yourself.
I didn't feel like myself.
A lot of women feel that way when they go on that medication, and we actually have data to show that it does really impact, your just the way you function on every level. And of course, because hormones are swimming around in your brain chemistry, and when you change them, so does your brain chemistry, right?
Totally, yeah. So, the motivation to figure it out never went away, and I kept trying to go off. And eventually someone mentioned something about PCOS, and it was the first time I'd ever heard about it. I think I was in my early 20s, and I started, doing some digging, and, it still was kind of trial and error. I didn't know a lot about how diet affected hormones. And eventually I landed on your book. I think I was maybe 25 years old at the time, 26. And that was really the first thing that opened my eyes to just this whole kind of world of women's health and hormones and kind of treating things holistically. And it really sparked a lot of curiosity in me. And, one thing led to another. Then I was listening to podcasts, and I was cycle syncing and, just using my nutrition to kind of harness my hormones. And I was able to eventually get off the pill right before the Tokyo Olympics, which was a huge priority of mine. It was also a priority of mine to get off the pill before I wanted to try to get pregnant, because I know it takes time for your body to self-regulate. So now I'm finally off the pill, and I feel so much better, but I also feel really passionate about sharing my journey. And I just think it's important for all women to kind of understand, that there's other ways to get in touch with your body and to treat these symptoms, and just to figure out what's going on.
I think it's so incredible that you did that before the Tokyo Olympics. What did you notice in terms of just athletic performance, recovery, that sort of on the pill and after the pill with your own cycling hormones? How did it feel different?
Right. Well, initially I was almost too nervous to do it, because I was like, this is such a big risk if I don't feel great coming off the pill. I'm in the middle of Olympic qualification and so much at stake. But then COVID hit, and I was like, okay, I have this time where I'm not training super intense. I can really nourish my body and take a lot of time with my nutrition. And right away with my training, it was so crazy how much more energetic I felt in my practices, just cardiovascularly. I could breathe better. I wasn't constantly out of breath, and it was just such a quick switch. And I have to attribute that to going off the pill. And I just felt like I was able to train better and harder and not feel as depleted all the time. And I don't know, I think there's just, like I said earlier, there's like something you can't even put your finger on, but I just feel better. I feel more myself, and I feel like I have like that zest for life again.
I
So
love that. And I mean, obviously it worked. You did win a gold medal. So that's a good,
I
a
know.
good testament to the
Totally.
fact that, your natural hormonal pattern, that cyclical pattern served you really well. And I think it's so important to just state that because, we're told kind of the opposite, right? We're told your hormones are a liability and, they should be controlled and, your cycle is kind of this difficult thing you have to overcome. But in fact, your cyclical hormonal patterns are really an advantage, for you personally and just how you feel as a person, but then also athletically. I mean, I think it's just such an important thing to share. So yeah, and I also think it's really frustrating to hear that, you had sort of had all these issues for so many years and was really hard for you to get answers.
Yeah.
That you didn't even know that you had PCOS for so long. And I'm assuming you had access to great medical care for all those years. It's
I
just,
remember talking to my OBGYN, and I had just read your book, and I started talking to her like, I'm reading about how, nutrition can affect our hormones, and I just will never forget that she asked me if it was a scam and if I was giving money to, and it kind of made me sad that I was realizing Western medicine is kind of just stuck in this old way of thinking. And I realized at that point that that wasn't the doctor for me, but also I was going to have to proactively do a lot of my own research, which, fortunately I did, and I was able to kind of find a lot of good resources, but I just don't think it should be this difficult, for women. I feel like it should be common knowledge. And that's kind of why I'm here to talk about, like I want everybody to go to their doctor and to get this information, not like it shouldn't be something that you have to search out on the internet.
I agree. And that's why we're so excited about what we're launching now, because we really are on a mission to make it easy, right? So you can download the app for free and have it be super accessible, no expensive visits. And then you can put in any and all symptoms that you're dealing with, and the app is going to help educate you about what it is that you might be dealing with from a hormonal point of view and give you a customized plan to help you understand how to move back into hormonal flow, right? To get out of your symptoms and to just take charge naturally with food, with supplements, to get your balance back and to make it just so much easier, because the burden being on each one of us to try to reinvent the wheel, to go down the rabbit holes of Google searching things and trying to figure it out and trying to cobble it together. It just seems so crazy that we're here in the 21st century with the most advanced technology and medical tech, and yet for women's hormonal issues that affect over half the population, 80% of women have a hormonal issue, and we're just not getting the tools that we need to care for ourselves on a day-to-day basis. And that's what we're really excited about bringing forward now with our new offering. And it's part of our celebration is just sort of making sure everybody has access to it. So you can download the app for free and start your hormonal transformation journey today. I think it's important that you're sharing your story, because, people look up to athletes and say, oh, they can't have any issues. They are probably perfectly hormonally healthy and there's nothing going on. Not true,
I know.
not true. I think it's, we're all as women struggling with symptoms, but we're not necessarily sharing enough about it. So I just really appreciate everyone coming to these conversations to really share honestly, like, yeah, I have these hormonal issues and here's what I've done to overcome them. How has your journey to pregnancy been with your PCOS as you've gone through the healing process? How was that for you?
Right. Well, I was really happy to find out that my fertility levels were really great, actually, when I looked into it and did some testing. And, I think there's so many factors in play. I'm really grateful that we were able to get pregnant and, everything is healthy so far. But
So good.
so just think about all the work that I did over the last, 5 to 7 years to just get my body in a place where it could be ready for this. And I think I remember reading something in your book that was just saying if you try to get pregnant too quickly after going off the pill, there's actually like a higher chance of miscarriage or something like that. And planted a seed in my head where I was just like, I need to get off the pill ASAP because my body needs to start figuring out, how it truly runs on its own. And if there are other issues, I want to get to the root cause of it before, I'm ready to start a family, because I don't want this to be the reason I can't get pregnant.
I love that you took action, and I love that you shared sort of the timetable that it took. This is not some sort of quick fix or fad diet. The idea here is that at Flow Living, that we want to help you understand, listen, here's how your endocrine system works. Here's how your cycle works. And then here's how you work with it to make it work optimally. There is no other way. Like, this is just how your body works, so this is the new lifestyle, and that it is a kind of an ongoing process. And what's nice about the application, the new app, is that it's going to be able to really follow you throughout all these transformations. You may be coming to the app for the first time in your 20s, dealing with period issues. Great. We'll help you with your cramps. We'll help you with your cycle irregularities. But then you may be ready to prepare your body for conception, and the app will help you with that. Or maybe you're in perimenopause or postpartum, and you're trying to get your hormones back to balance, or you're trying to deal with your perimenopause journey in your late 30s, early 40s. We need a tool that helps us from our first bleed to our last, and we're just so excited that we have that now for everybody. What do you think women should know about their hormones now that you've been on your whole journey? If you could sort of help someone who's just at the beginning, what should a woman know about dealing with her issues and, being hormonal in general?
Right. I just think that almost anything can be treated holistically and really from the root cause. And it was so frustrating to have doctors want to just put Band-Aids on over symptoms. And I think that when it comes to your hormones, there really is a way to kind of get down to the root problem. And a lot of that is through nutrition and kind of just like being really kind to your body and listening to your body. And I remember so much in your book was just about paying attention to what your body is telling you. Everything is kind of a symptom. And so I think I just want people to realize there is a way to make yourself better without medicine necessarily, or without a pill, and it just takes really honing into what is going on with your body and listening to it and having the right resources. So, when it comes to anything medical, I'm always so curious. I want to know what truly is the problem and how do we fix it, not just make me feel better for a short amount of time.
I love that. I think, it's so important that women feel comfortable, confident about, the language of their bodies, which is, hormones, right? Understand how they work, understand how your endocrine system works, understand that your symptoms are a conversation, right? Your symptoms are saying, hey, something's not working for us. It's not like you have to be in war with your body. It's not a fight. It's not like, okay, what do I have to do to suppress this thing? The body is surfacing that symptom just to help get your attention, so that you could maybe change your inputs, your dietary inputs, your supplement inputs. And I love, sort of just that message of you can actually make a change. When you change your inputs, your hormonal outputs change. That is so true. We've seen that. I've been taking care of women for 2 decades, but certainly in the past 10 years, just working with women virtually all over the world with Flow Living, many of whom hear about us for the first time, like you, through the books, and then they start coming to us for the supplements and the app and other programs, to really see that change is possible. And it doesn't take that long to start feeling the reaping the benefits. Like you said, when you got off the pill and you started getting your cycle back and started using the cycle syncing method, you're like, wow, I feel like I want to feel, and it doesn't take that many cycles to do that.
And the thing that I really love too about your book and your app is it's very educational. I don't want to just be told what to do. I want to understand why I'm doing it, why my body needs it. And I feel like you're kind of respecting the woman in a sense, saying okay, we're going to teach you about your body and we're going to teach you to pay attention and hear all these signals it's giving you so that you can then respond in the appropriate way. It's not just here, take this supplement or follow this protocol. It's you really go into like the science behind it all. And I really appreciated that.
I'm so glad. I mean, I did that because that's how I'm wired. I'm like you. I don't want to be told what to do either. I need to know why. And I'm a curious person, and I fundamentally feel, even though I've been told many different things different times, that women love to learn about the science of their bodies, and they're not afraid of technical terms, and they really do want to know all the nitty-gritty about how their operating system works. And the more, in my experience, that they know that information, which now, I mean, how great is it? You can go into the app, you can check off a symptom you're having in the app, and it will tell you from a functional point of view why that could be happening. Why are you having acne, let's say, during your ovulatory phase? And how is that different from the acne, like root cause wise, from your luteal phase? Like, most of us don't even know that there is a difference, but there is. And learning that, I think, is so empowering, because then you feel motivated to take action. And that's what we're all about at Flow Living, is giving you the information and helping you take the action that really is right for you. And what I love about the new offering is just how personalized it is. So now it's really all about you as an individual person within the app getting exactly the customized care that you need for your issues, and for that to be something that you can do all throughout your reproductive years. Because we need that help, why not?
If I could have had this app when I was playing overseas and like trying to figure out what was wrong with me and why I was breaking out so bad, I mean, it would have been such a lifesaver.
I'm working as fast as I can, but we're here now. We're here now. It's ready. I just want to thank you, Alix, for sharing your story today. I think it's never, we just can't be talking about these things enough, because we haven't reached a place where this is just a normalized conversation to like raise our hands and say, yep, I've got PCOS, or yep, I've got endometriosis. We're still kind of keeping that close to the chest. But I think the more we normalize that conversation, then on the other side of that coin is normalizing the fact that we do deserve a new kind of hormonal health care that's accessible, that's empowering, and that's just really immediate. And so we're really excited about what we're doing next with the next chapter of Flow Living, and really just bringing this forward for women. So thank you for participating, and we're excited for this next part of the journey, and so excited to have you with us.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for including me in this conversation. And I'm so excited to see the app in all of its new glory, and, continue to use it in my postpartum journey, and, getting back on track with all of my athletic stuff. And it's just always been so helpful for me. So
I'm so glad. All right, everybody, we'll see you at the next chat. Thanks, Alix.
Thank you, Alyssa.
Bye.
Bye.